Peace, family. We back for another one. I am Major the Neighborhood Guru. This is my brother, Mr. Chance. What's up with you? How you doing, BNH? Everything is good?
Man, feeling good, feeling so great, man. Just happy that we're in this moment, happy that we started this thing called BNH Brothers in Healing. We started January 1st. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are rolling. We want everybody to know that this journey that we're on, it's all about healing. And healing in so many different ways. There's so many things that we all go through, but everything that you go through is absolutely meant for you to grow through. So we're ecstatic to bring to you a different way of approaching healing from a spiritual standpoint, a mental standpoint, and a spiritual standpoint. And that's where we talk about Project Trinity, if you can see that behind me a little bit. That's one of our logos. But B&H Project Trinity, man, it's a beautiful thing. We're going to show you how to heal the mind, body, and the spirit, but we're going to talk about it from the first position. What's first position? Well, you're a being of light first. You're spiritual first. Your physical body is absolutely second. So we're going to address the most important thing, first person, not your second person. You're not second class. You are first class. And the first class of the day is learning what you are, right? Super important. So we're going to talk about real simply today our gifts so you can understand what it is that we do, what we bring to the table, and what we want to do when it comes to our gifts and how we want to help you guys. And we want to help you guys flourish. We want to help you guys get better. So, my man, talk to them about your gift. Like, what really started you, number one? Like, what was your falling down? We call it the great falling down so you can get back up. You feel me? So, go ahead and tell people like what it was for you to fall down and then get back up and start living in your gift. And now you shared it with so many people and you've been doing your thing for 13 years, bro. Super proud of you. But talk to people about your falling down and then talk to them how you got back up and now you became the neighborhood guru. And now you got people all over the world desiring your service because you're so thorough and you do it with love. That's why I came and said, I want to partner with this man because this dude is doing work from the heart. He's interested in helping you to become the best version of yourself. So, man, tell us about your gift. Tell me how you got started with it. But first, tell me how you fell down. I look, I know everybody then fell down to get where they at. Tell me how you fell down and got back up.
Yes. So, thank you so much for the beautiful intro, brother. I mean, when I fell down, I was in a state of the one of the lowest places I think I've ever been in, and I didn't even know it. I was partying, I was having a great time. It seemed like I was living the best life you could live, right? But it got to a point where the substances, the alcohol, the women, everything was in a very toxic point. And I remember like it was yesterday. I was out at a bar. I was hanging out with the homies. We was
Mm-hmm.
kicking it. Everything was love. But I used to have blackout Fridays. You're blackout on Friday. That was the whole goal. And I remember one Friday, we
Dang.
definitely blacked out, right? But in this blackout, I remembered everything. That's why I knew something was up. And I remember telling a friend that, hey man, I feel like I'm about to go on this journey. I don't know where I'm going, but I feel like I'm gonna end up leaving all of you. I gotta leave you behind. But this is my soul speaking. And at
Golly.
that moment, I'm sitting there. We are sitting outside. If you're from St. Louis, we was in downtown Clayton, and I'm talking to him. And I was into the substances. I was into drugs, party, and alcohol. I was into it all. And it was just to a point where I felt like my soul got tired. My body was very tired, and it's like spirit just snatched me right
Mm.
on up. But it was in the lowest pit. I was even to the point where once I lost everyone, because they took everyone away. Because I remember crying out to spirit, crying out to the universe, crying out to my soul family, the soul within myself, and I wanted a change. I wanted something greater. I didn't want to continue walking down this destructive path that I was on. We'll get into the journey later of about how much it was just a toxic life. It really was. It was kind of scary as I'm looking back to it. But the lowest point when I dropped off, man, I was working at the Four Seasons. I had a dope apartment in the city. I'm living good, you know, but I was miserable. I would go every night to the bar across the street. I would drink my favorite drink, LaFoy. I would have my bourbon, come back home. And I remember going there one day and I watched the documentary about Marley. I'll never forget it. And one thing that I saw on there was telling about remember thyself. It kept saying, remember thyself, know thyself. But they also were talking about Haile Selassie. And at that moment, that's when it's like a light bulb went off. Went to work the next day, and I was just naturally I just flow. And some of the crystals I was wearing exploded at the job. I just put my hand down on the counter. They exploded off my hand, off right off my wrist. No force, no anything. And I had enough wisdom in myself to know that this time was done. And from
Mm.
there, I dedicated my life to spirit. I dedicated my life to being the best version of self, no matter how hard it got, no matter how difficult it got, no matter the trials and tribulations, and no matter what I lost. That was one of the first time where I lost a lot, but I also gained a lot at the same time. Got to travel to New York, got to do a lot of things. And this would have been, wow, to have been at that 13-year mark. Like, yeah, we're coming into
Mm-hmm.
that. I can't, what year would that be? If we would have, I can't, the math right now is just running through because I'm just channeling what happened to me. But that was the darkest point. Everyone was
Like
removed from me.
probably like 2013, 2013,
2012,
2014,
2013, absolutely.
2012. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's like the friends, the relationships, the so-called amazing job was all snatched away from me so that I can be purged of everything that was not in alignment for my divine gift. So from that point, I started realizing that everyone would come to me asking me questions. I'd be like, why are you asking me all these questions? They'd be like, yo, man, it seems like you just know. I'm like, what do you mean I just know? So we got to a point where I just started reading people and didn't even know I was reading people.
Nice.
People come up to me at the bar, they'd be like, man, I just love your energy. So when I started picking up on this and remembering this in my journey, that's when I was exposed to palm reading. That's when I was exposed to reading energies, auras, and frequencies. But I was
Mm-hmm.
doing this without any tools. I would just look at you and read you. So
Boy,
fast
that's
forward.
hey, that's powerful, Brian. That's right. Ooh-wee.
Hey, man, let me tell you. So it's like fast forwarding through the journey, right? We get to a point where I started getting introduced to tarot. I started getting introduced to oracles. I started getting introduced to different divinations that we can use to help us get messages from spirit. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I said, you know what? I got a reading from someone, and she said, you're supposed to be sitting on the side of the table. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was at another dark point. I was at another dip of being purged of things I wouldn't let go. So Spirit said, I will make you let them go. A relationship ended in a
Yeah,
way
it's
that I
hey,
wasn't
it's
ready for.
levels to that. Hey, it's levels to it, bro. I feel you.
Bro, them relationships will get you. You hear me? So
Mm-hmm.
relationships ends, and I hit a dip, and I just need guidance. So I went to someone I knew who could do readings. She gives me a ring. She's like, "You supposed to be?" She's like, because I was asking like, "Yo, what's my purpose?" She goes, "You know your purpose. You supposed to be on this side of the table. You supposed to be doing this, but you're already doing it." She's like, "We've had many conversations before. The yoga, the meditation, the frequencies, the chakras, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You are supposed to be doing this." She goes, "You know your journey." So I was like, "Okay, cool." She just told me, "Just try it. Read this book." And it was man, I can't even remember the book off the top of my head. Western Body, no, Eastern Body, Western Soul. Or it was about the chakras. I won't have to get back to you with it. So it was a thick book.
Yeah, we need that knowledge, man. You better remember books. I'm bringing up books. We need our people to get them books. So
Absolutely.
they might want to be like, hey, he sound like me. I need that book in my life.
No, this is true. It's been so many books.
Hey, if he can
So
remember the name of that book, we're gonna put it
body,
down in the description. Trust and believe that.
it's called Eastern Body, Western Mind. Eastern philosophies of healing, but with a Western mind. Very powerful book.
Okay. Hey guys, we're
Very.
gonna put that in the description. So remember, Eastern body, Western mind. We got you.
So I'm going through it right, and it's just like a light bulb went off. And next thing you know, I'm into cards. I'm into learning about my ancestors. I'm into learning about spirit. I'm into deep diving into my chakras, not knowing I'm a healer. But then one day I sat there and I did a reading for a close friend and her mother. And when I did her mother didn't believe in none of this stuff. But she
Facts.
told she told her mother about the reading. Her mother said, I'll get a reading. And when I gave her this reading, she said, you are a prophet. And then from there, I haven't looked back. I jumped 2 feet in my journey and decided that if I'm going to do this, not only for myself and my bloodline, I want to do this for my community. And this is the very beginning before the neighborhood guru was born. And I just have not looked back. It's just been one step after the other, but I've been walking into the unknown faithfully, knowing that I am guided by the ascended masters, my divine team, as well as my ancestors. Knowing that the divine within me, the energy within me, the inner God within me is going to get me to that promised land. And this is how I really got into being able to read the way I do. I've had a lot of counsel from other spiritualists that are
Mhm.
older, elders, and they said the way you read is how the ancients read. And I didn't know. So I've done hypnosis to see past life regression. And I've really dove deep within myself to understand, understand, and overstand why am I the way I am? Why have I
Mhm.
walked away from so many different individuals to find this peace and this healing within me to get these gifts? But I was born into it. The further I look back from this point, I can look all the way back. And as I look back, I see that I was doing this as a child. My family used to come to me and be like, hey, Major, such and such is going on. What you think I should do? And I'm a child. And I'm telling them, I'm just telling them whatever I think. And it was so, it would come to pass. So this is
Mm.
something I've always been in, but I never embodied it. And since in my older age, I've been embodying it. Baby, it's been love, man. I've been enjoying this more than anything I've ever done in my life. I truly have a passion for what I do. And I feel like every day I wake up is just the beginning to evolve out of the way I was the day before, a fresh new start. So, I mean, that's
That's
the short
dope.
version of it. That's the short version of it. I know it's kind of long, but that's the short version, man.
Hey, we call it peaks and valleys, man. We go up, we go down, but the spiritual lessons, man, it's like what people have to come to understand is that in this physical journey, it's capped off, right? You can make all this
Mhm.
money, you can come to a place where money, well, what matters now? You can make all this money, you could have all of these people surrounding you, yes men or whatever, material things, but the spiritual caps off. But then when you open that heart up to the spiritual,
Mm.
woo, then that's when it does like this. It's a different journey. It expands and it heals and it elevates and it keeps growing, 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 growing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
yeah, that's a dope story, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that,
Appreciate you, brother.
man.
You know I want to
Yep,
hear you. Come on, hold on. Don't slide on us like that. You know we want to hear about your journey, my brother. How did you get started?
man. I really, like you said, it's a long story, but there was so many falling down and getting ups that I remember. And I remember one time, like I call my life these little like moments that change you forever. And one of them was my first life lesson was like forgiveness, right? So I remember telling my dad, that I'd hated him, right? And I was probably 12 years old, bro. Like I looked him right in his face. I said, I hate you. He was like, I'm crying like big old crocodile tears. My dad was a big dude. Like his ring finger wouldn't even fit on my thumb. He had them hands that if he did slap you, you'd be like, Where's my head, bro? Like, where is it?" He had some big mitts for hands, you feel me? And he was a man, like, you know what I'm saying? My sister got bit by a Doberman one time in Berkeley, right? In Missouri. And this dog was the most feared dog on the block. It was my actually my best friend in St. Louis. It was his dog. And my dad went out there, grabbed that dog by the freaking mane, put a chain around it, tied it to a tree, and then a dog catchers came and got it. But my dad wasn't no punk, right? But in growing up, there was a lot of things that were not being done for me and my sisters, you know. So I wanted to go look this man in the face because for me, I feel like I'm Daredevil. I was that kid that did not have any fear. I would jump off a roof, jump across the creek to see if I can make it. Just giving up my body. Falling off bikes, going down hills, jumping ramps. I mean, I was a daredevil of a kid. I just had no fear, and I learned. Growing up in St. Louis, man, you kind of grew up with a different mentality where, you know, I just eat or get ate. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
I was very much into, I got to make my move before you make your move. You know what I mean? So my dad, we had a conversation, man. It was getting real deep. And I told him them painful words, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't take it back, but I was gonna stand on it. You feel me? He's like, no, you don't hate me. I said, what you mean I don't hate you? He's like, because I'm your dad. I'm like, man, you don't get no pass. Like, what you mean? He's like, well, I'm your dad. I'm like, okay. So we kind of like left it at that, right? And then I went to my grandma's house. I used to see her, his mom. I used to see her like every 2 weeks, and she was telling me, man, she was like, "Yo, your dad told me that you hate him." She said this one thing that stuck with me. She said, "I'm not gonna tell you how to feel." Woo! That means she told me it's okay for you to feel the way you feel. And I'm telling people right now, it's okay to feel the way you feel. It don't make it right, but it's okay. If that's where you at, that's where you at. She told me it's okay to be where you at emotionally, but you need to understand where you come from. And when she told me about my dad and his life, and she started explaining the things that he had been through, and I look at my life and the things that I have not been through, I realized she was telling me, your dad took the beatings. Your dad took all of that so you didn't have to take it. That was like, oh my God. And just off the strength of that, she was telling me, grow the fuck up. Sorry, guys, I don't want to curse. We are really trying not to curse on our spot. But she was telling me, grow up, Mike G. I was like, you don't realize what was paved, so you don't have to go through that. I was like, wow. So when I saw my dad, I went up to him, I kissed him, I said, bruh, I love you, and I would never say them words to you again. And from that point on, I asked him to forgive me, right? And I had to forgive myself for saying something so hurtful. And I don't say those words to anybody. I don't say that the hate word. I don't look, if y'all out there using that hate word, I hate my job. I hate my no, stop it. That word has so much negative things attached to it. And we'll talk about that moving on in some of our future videos. But we had a peanut butter and jelly relationship after that because I understood he paved the way for me. So forgiveness was one of my first big lessons. Humility was one of my biggest lessons. You see, but for my dad in that relationship and me understanding what he had gone through, I was able to forgive dad, mom, people that have hurt me, in family situations, friends, things of that nature. I started to understand forgiveness, right? But see, my second one was humility because I come from that poverty thing we talk about, right? We never had money. I was getting my damn toys and shit out of a junkyard. Like the big wheel I had, my first big wheel came from a junkyard. You know what I'm saying? I had a super stretch Hulk, which you can stretch the damn thing. Jelly was coming out of his shoulder. He came from a junkyard. You feel me? So I grew up in this thing of, I call it shame because I had shame. I didn't know that would play such a big part in what drove me, right? So me being hard-headed, I'm a Taurus, me being hard-headed, having that shame, right? And mixed with fearlessness, it drove me to become an entrepreneur at age 25. But what was really driving that entrepreneurship was I don't like to be told what to do. And I had shame. So I wanted to make money so you wasn't gonna look at me crazy, right? So I started doing that entrepreneurial thing at age 25. And I didn't realize that all the fear that was associated with that money, I didn't want to lose it. So we started businesses, me and my ex-wife, we started businesses, we started all the different things. And I married a woman, because this was another stage of me healing. I married a woman where we were very dysfunctional in our marriage, but we created great businesses because I was on the creative side, that right brain side. She was on the analytical side. So we were good at that business thing. I'll be like, oh, here's the idea. She'd be like, well, this is going to take this. Well, here's the idea. It's going to take this. So we just was like, mashing it out. But that humility side came when we lost all of that money. And that's a whole nother story. We're going to say these stories because we got a lot we're going to unravel for people. But that humility was losing everything and realizing that where all them people that was supporting me go? What's all this whispering behind doors about? Da-da-da-da-da. Woo! The crash was real. But see,
Mhm.
I built up a false idol. See, I climbed that material mountain and it was empty up there. Because I realized the people that was in my life, that wasn't in my life. They was hanging on to my life. You feel me? They wasn't involved with me. They was hanging on to me. You feel me? And the weight of it was heavy. And when I lost everything, bruh, you want to know the weirdest stuff ever? The weirdest stuff ever is when I lost everything, I felt so light. Kind of
Mhm.
felt like this pressure was gone. No pressure to perform, no pressure to be something that I wasn't. And what I really was saying was, look at me, I made it. And I've never been flashy, but I still had the look. You know what I'm saying? People coming up to me, yo, man, you gonna buy some bottles at the bar? You gonna do this and that? I'm like, yeah, I got that, man. You know, it's all good. That was me. Arrogant as F. But see, that humbling experience, it brought me to this one thing. What are you going to give back to
Mhm.
society, bro? What are you going to give back? And to make a long story short, we're going to talk about these stories. They're so much better with more detail. But it said, Chance, you need to figure that out. And I went to sleep. I was like, God, I don't know what the hell it is I need to do, but I need to do something. And I want to do something in the ability to help people. I went to sleep, woke up the next morning. I was like, I'm going through my divorce, all this other stuff. I'm like, coaching. And I saw holistic life coach, bro. When I saw that thing, I said, healing the mind, the body, the spirit, and the root cause is in the spiritual aspect. I said, oh, that's me, because that's what I'm going through. And every person I started to help, bro, it was like unraveling stuff in me. So now there's the other levels of forgiveness. Remember we talked about once you open up your heart, you start to expand and grow. Now I'm like, damn, bro, you got some unresolved issues, you know? So now you walk around here more spiritually aware. Because when people say they're spiritual, I need y'all to stop all of that. It's like saying, you see a tree and a tree be like, hey, I'm a tree. Everything's spiritual. Everything's
Mhm.
spiritual. Everything comes from one. Everything comes from God. It's just we are one thing. Once you strip away the flesh, once you strip away all this bones and blood and all sorts of stuff, you can't tell what the hell anybody is. You can just feel it. Now, my gift is when I started the spiritual walk, I could feel everything when I started doing Reiki, right? But see, as a kid, I'll be in church. My dad was a preacher, right? But I'll be in church and I'll be like, me and my sister be holding hands sometimes, but me and my sister's, she's a 6 and 33. People that understand what that is, my sister and I are very powerful. And my other sister, she's an 11 master builder. My mom had 3 master kids, 3 master numbers. Easy now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that part was crazy, but the cool part was me and my sister, my sister, the 6 and 33 like me, we were always connected, really strongly connected. And we would be in church feeling everything. And when my mom separated from my dad, she took us to Cali. We in this church, we feeling everything. We like this, looking at each other like, what the hell? We went from this small little holy daughter hymnals, all that. We went to a church. Hey, scary times, right? But I could feel everything, and that's what it really was. I never liked really loud noises. So when I started on my spiritual journey, I wanted to offer more as a holistic life coach. I went to this class where they were introducing Reiki. And
Mhm.
Reiki, for people that don't know, it means God's wisdom or God's power. But all it is, guys, on the simplest level, when you have a baby, women out there, and that baby is crying or that baby falls down and gets hurt, you hold that child to your breast and you say in a very loving voice, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. So when I do Reiki, all I'm doing is I'm saying the same thing, but I'm giving love to your spiritual body, right? So if you give love to something, it doesn't matter how many things are going wrong with that thing. Love is what heals that thing, right? And love is God and God is love. So figure that one out.
Hmm.
So when you do that, you start to understand that this gift that we all have the ability to love or not. But you have to understand we all come from love. And there was a lady, she was laying, I went to two readers first. Like you said, you went to some readers, and I sat in front of these two readers, right? And they had the cards, and they both looked at me. They were like, why are you here? I'm like, I want to
Mhm.
read. They're like, you already know what you're supposed to do. You're already on your path. Don't waste our time. Here's your money back. And they sent me up out of there. Right. So I was kind of bummed because they couldn't tell me anything. So then I went to this Reiki session. This is what got me on my Reiki path. This Reiki session was dope because I was there and everybody got to actually get on the table, and two Reiki masters put their Reiki healing hands over me. And they were like, you don't have a lot of blockages. Your heart chakra's open. You have all of this green, and especially around your right hand, there's a lot of green around you. They said you love people unconditionally. They said the thing is you don't let everybody in. I said, damn, why does I'm saying, how do they know that? So they're reading me, and you don't realize that God has given everybody gifts, man. Like your gift is like mine, but it's not, right? My gift is like yours, but it's not. It's different. And the way that we read people in our rooms and in our sessions, bro, it's amazing. And people are going to understand it ain't it ain't us. God has given us these abilities. God has given you abilities, but you have to clear all of the clutter. You have to clear all of the crap that you've gone through, and that thing just automatically flourishes. So now that I've learned how to clean my energy, my spiritual energy, so to speak, and I'm not in a negative headspace, I can actually feel the blockages in people's spiritual body. But see, the physical body follows the spiritual body. So when I say the spiritual body, I'm talking about all encompassing. I can feel where people are blocked. And it makes for a beautiful conversation because there are lots of healing stories, and there are lots of clients I'm gonna put on these calls so people can understand there's people that look just like you that have healed from their ailments, right? Do we need doctors? Yes. Right? Do we need spiritual healers? Yes. Both of these things go hand in hand, right? Because you are here having a third dimensional experience. So you need that third dimensional healing, and you also need that spiritual healing. They both do like this, right? So I'm here to give people what I have as a gift, which is figuring out where you're blocked and showing you how to get past that. And the way that you read, that's dope, because you read me, you were like, I mean, it's, it's weird though. And this is funny. We say, well, when you're reading a book, it has the words, right?
Mhm.
Right? You ain't open the book, ain't nothing there. You're reading the book because you're reading what's there. So when you
Mhm.
read me, you was like, this is what it is. And I was just like, okay. He already knows who I am because he's reading my book. But see, you're reading my spiritual literature. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Right? So together we perform things that are very I would say very amazing to most, but for us it's normal because we've been doing it with a combined of over 20 plus years. And it's not a miracle that we do these things. It's more so like a a breathing. You know
Yes,
what
it
I'm
is.
saying? You feel me? It's more like breathing. It's like, what do you mean? This is not a miracle. It's a breath. This is how we move. But everybody has these gifts. Everybody. You know, just to get past this. I mean, I want to go deeper into my story just like you, man. But it's just too much. It's so many things. We will have that opportunity. But I just really wanted to share with people what my gift is. I'm glad you shared what your gift is, how you fell down and got back up. But it's really about that, falling down, getting back up, not being ashamed of the fall because the fall is necessary, and learning how to accept who you are, learning how to reject the clutter, all the nonsense, learning how to reject that, and learning how to stay anchored into your truth. What is your truth? We want you guys to find out what that truth is. My truth is I'm here to help people heal. I'm here to help people elevate. And that is my truth. And that's what I'm here to do. Now, am I going to have fun? Let me show you. Hell yeah.
Gee,
Look, I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to have some wine. I'm going to travel. I want to, go meet different people, different cultures. So enjoy your third dimensional experience. It's very small, but while you're here, learn to be the best version of yourself.
hmm
That's it.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I agree with you. The journey has been so long. There's so much to unravel. It's never enough time, and I feel like because it's always changing, it's always growing. We're always adding to that page, you know. And like you said, we got to enjoy life. We have to enjoy life. We don't have to subscribe to the things that happen to us. We don't have to hold on to them. It's just words in a book. The journey is the book. You don't jump from 1 to 10. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when you get to that 10th page, that's when you can really help people in a way that you never have before. Help yourself, help your family, so that you can change the narrative and the outcome as you continue to move forward and as they continue to move forward. And like you said, the peaks and valleys, every time you get to one mountaintop, you hit the bottom of another. But on the spiritual journey, I've learned, yes, that's the case. But it expands in a way where there's an infinite amount of growth that doesn't cap off.
Mm-mm.
It's infinite.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I just have so much gratitude that I decided to take the road less traveled.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's waiting for y'all, man. We just wanted to give y'all a piece of our truth, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about like we're gonna get into some very tough subjects on this platform. We're gonna get into some real things that we want you to be able to hear, but we want you to let you all know that it's okay. It's 1,000, 1,010, 20, 30. Look, it's okay. It's okay to be you. Look, it's okay. We're gonna drive that home all the time because what we say all the time, you're not here to be perfect. But damn it, you are here to learn how to love yourself. You are here for that. And if you're here for that in your truth, then guess what we're here to do? You ain't pushing that mountain by yourself. You ain't doing it by yourself. And I'll drink to that.
Indeed. I'm on the water kick right now, so take
Oh
a
no, no,
sip.
no. I understand. Look, it's the weekend. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Oh, we're gonna talk about our
Cheers to that.
we're gonna talk about our fasting, bro, because guys, the summer reveal, like we talked about before, is real. So stay tuned. We're gonna keep
Hey,
working out. We're
hey,
gonna keep eating right.
hey.
We're gonna start posting our diet, and we're gonna start posting the things that we do and how you can fast and how you can also diet. You know, we both do intermittent fasting. Let me just tell you. Intermittent fasting, look it up. I mean, we're eating between a window of say 12:30 to 5. Then after that we shut it down. But that little window you can eat, right? But it's up to you on your spiritual walk on what you're going to eat and what's good for you. Always check with your physician because I don't know your health. I don't know what your health is at this point. But check with your physician. But for us, food is not an addiction anymore. That's the point I'm trying to make. Food is something that I can actually enjoy, but
Yeah.
I'm not addicted to it. I'm not the person saying, "Oh, I gotta have breakfast. I gotta have lunch. I gotta." No, I'm not prescribing to an addiction. Food used to be an addiction. I used to think, man, I gotta have some meat.
Man,
I
we
used to
used.
feel like that. I'd be like, I'm getting a headache. Man,
Yep.
we make up the most BS. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about addictions. We're gonna talk about food is definitely an addiction. We're gonna talk about all that, and we're not telling no one to stop eating. I mean, that's super stupid. We would never do that. But we're saying like be sensible and know thyself. Know your body. Your body is freaking. Look, this I tell people this all the time. Like, if you get a paper cut, you're not saying, "Oh God, please heal me from this paper cut." You're not saying that.
No.
So that means healing is automatic, right? But see, what gets in the way of that paper cut is you keep doing like this, and then it will get infected. And then at some point, if you keep doing like that, they will have to amputate the hand and all this other stuff. So a lot of things that we go through is because we keep messing with it in the spiritual, and it doesn't heal.
Mm.
It doesn't heal. So what we're gonna do, even moving forward with that, is teach you how to stop messing with stuff in the spirit, so these wounds, these deep wounds, can heal.
Hmm.
Right. So we're gonna address addictions, all that. So that's it, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for for getting this information out there, and I'm ready to enjoy this growth and get people this information, bro. What you got?
No, I agree with you. Especially when we talk about addiction. I'm one who's experienced that on all different levels. So
Yes, sir.
we'll like you said, we'll get into it when the time comes.
Yes,
But
sir.
one thing I'll say for certain, we ain't here to be perfect. We ain't here to tell you to
Boom.
be perfect. You don't think we go through stuff? You don't think we have trials, tribulations? You don't think we wake up and have days where we not really feeling it? But we have tools that we've learned upon our journey on how to flip that energy and use that energy. Say, you know what, this energy is not mine of my own. I send this back to whatever, and we can keep it rolling. There's a lot of
Mm.
things, and the only reason why I stop right there because I want to leave it open for you all to put your own energy into your own mantras into it to make it even more powerful for yourself. Chance has his mantras. I got mine. We have some that we share. But one thing is for certain, any energy that's not
Hold on. Give him an example of a mantra, because we got people that's listening. They might not know what a mantra is. What is a mantra, brother?
things that we say that help us elevate and get through energies that we don't want to be in. To keep it simple,
So would you call it like an affirmation,
you can
something like
call it
that?
affirmation. You can definitely call it
Okay.
affirmation because everyone's familiar with affirmations. Everyone you don't know
Okay.
about mantras, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
affirmation. Um, like you want, I'm gonna use yours because this is it's one of my favorites. I'm protected from negative energies, negative intent, and negative forces.
That's powerful though.
It's very powerful.
Hey, that's powerful.
So if I'm
Hey,
washing
hey,
my
hold on,
hands,
but
right?
hey, get it. You know what's cool though? Giving that gratitude. Like when you say, "I am thankful. I am grateful." Ooh-wee. That's
And
powerful.
don't get I am is very powerful. So we want to
I
make sure
am.
that we're using I am when we're speaking. I'm washing my hands. I'm wherever I'm at. And I'm like, man, what's this energy I'm feeling? I am protected from negative energies and negative forces, and I give thanks to my ascended masters and my guardians and my ancestors for guiding me. Love. I'm
Mhm.
out. I'm moving in. And then I'm outside jigging. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you with the shows. That's just how I move. I like having a good time. I love
Man,
enjoying too.
and you know what I be doing sometimes? I be driving, right? Somebody cut me off, and I'm like, okay, I have a choice to make. And sometimes that choice is this. But most of the time, since I've been able to be better at my own little walk, it's more
Mm,
like, "Mm, I'm thankful that I'm protected from negative energy, negative intent, and I'm thankful that that person is getting to where they need to be safely."
mm-hmm.
That's what I do, man. Because if you start a spiral, bro, you can go down a spiral of negative thinking just because somebody cut you off, right? And that's the thing. It's learning how to redirect energy while you're actually, absolutely in it. So if you can learn to do it while you're in it, that's the magic. Man, we talk. Well, I ain't gonna get onto that, but hey, that's not, man. We gotta shut this one down, man, because I really just wanted us to give information about what we are, what we're doing, and as far as what your gifts are. Because guys, we're gonna be giving away some free readings when we go live on this YouTube. We're gonna be giving away some free readings, and we're going to have a great time putting healing in your understanding, and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk to a bunch of healers too that are going to come to the table, because there's a lot of people out here waking up to their own gifts, and we want those people to come on our platform and share their stories too, because we want people that look like you. Not everybody is bald head and looking like us, you feel me? But at the same time, we want you to know that this movement, this thing called community is real,
Mhm.
and we want people to know that, people like to call what we talking about new age. Let me tell you something. Love ain't no damn new age.
Come on.
Love is the beginning, love is the end. And that is what everyone is charged with learning. Love is the beginning and
Mhm.
love is the end. Everything in between that is a lesson, a book that you must learn to write. You're writing your own book. That's good.
Yo, brother, this has been a beautiful session tonight. I'm always grateful to hold space with you. And as always, I send you nothing but love.
Thank
I
you. I
love
love you.
Hey, yeah, man, I love you too. I love you for not giving up on yourself, not giving up on the journey, and I love you for always shining your brightness, your light. That's what I wanted to say. But being fearless on this journey and doing all the great healing that you've been doing. So I'm excited for the
Hey,
future, man.
I'm excited for you too, bro. Like, I've seen you work, bro, and I'm always edify people that's doing righteous things, right? Um, Again, like he said, we're not here for perfection, but we're here to learn how to strive and do things the right way. And it's very important that falling down is understood just as that. The getting up is the part, though. The
Hmm.
getting up is where the magic happens because you get up so much stronger. But you know, we're gonna leave this thing alone because we got a lot we want to say, but we just want to introduce our gifts, and we're thankful for you guys, and we're thankful that whoever goes on this journey with us, you're going to be here to learn a lot, and we're going to accept guidance from you guys too, because look, we know what we know, and what we know compared to what you know is this. See, we
Hmm.
all we all know stuff, but compared to what we have access to, that's a lot. So we want everybody, because everybody has their different things they bring to the table, and we want everybody to explore what their gifts are. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna be about their life, and we out, man.
Absolutely. Peace, brother.
Peace, peace, peace.